Broadcasting live from the mixed-up world of Hyrule, this is the Link to the Past Randomizer Tournament 2021. Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Bobtastic, and joining me today on commentary is Tracy M. Tracy M., how you doing?
Fantastic quarterfinals already. Well, I know about already, but it's been a really fun tournament, and a couple of potentially unexpected names here in a bracket with the two defending finalists from last year. We have shadyforce versus ObscureLifeForm. Should be a good one.
Oh, yeah. This is going to be excellent rematch from previous tournaments of sorts, and it's going to be quite the run. This is game one of this match, so nobody's going home here just yet. But this is the first match between these two, or first game between these two runners, and it is best of three. As all of these others, it is a hard standard mode race between these two, and it's going to be pretty exciting, I think.
Yeah, let's hope so. We've had some good races so far. Let's keep that going. Nothing better than a good close race, in my opinion. Doesn't matter how it gets there. Here we go. Shady always liking to use some goofy sprites, and of course Obscure known for the fish. And an early cane of Burna, so that won't be our starting item at least.
Yeah, but I mean, if they get bombs, maybe they prefer to use cane. Who knows?
Well, yeah, I mean, there are definitely a few places where the cane maybe is a little bit easier, so they get bombs, they have that backup, because they'll be able to pick up a couple of magic pots here. And let's see what our uncle does have for us. Cane of Burna. Wow, we're double cane start. Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Cane of Samaria as a starting item. A lot of fun strats. It doesn't use a ton of magic, so farming isn't as bad as some of the other items that you could get. In particular, the Cane of Burna.
Now, I think we saw a heart. Drop there.
I've not seen the second drop yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think one of the bomb pools contains a heart.
Yes, heart then fairy. Then we have the good prize pack where we get like full magic drops and 20 rupees, and eventually we'll get to an 8 bomb pack. If the next drop is another heart, then it's hearts and a couple of green rupees, and that doesn't do us any good whatsoever.
Correct.
If that's the case, we hope for bombs in a chest or a good prize pack with the rats. Alright, our first castle chest. Interesting that Shady is continuing to use Burna here instead of the Cane of Samaria. You can see, I mean, just look at the difference in magic usage between the two runners. It's pretty significant, especially given that we might be in a prize pack where we actually care about. And I still haven't seen a second drop over on Obscure's side. I think that may have been Shady's first drop, so.
Quite possibly. So yeah, the Burna strats there, I think it's probably just faster for killing that one guard, because you could just pin him against the top wall.
Yeah, that's fair.
That is
okay, I think the second heart. Well, darn. Now, in Shady's defense, if it turns out that the rats don't have anything either, he only needs to have enough magic to kill the key rat. So, still has plenty. You can use pots to kill the ball and chain guard. And most people will do that when they're faced with limited resource items. The bow may be a bit of an exception, depending on how many arrows you have at a given time. And there's the key that we have to pick up that will get us through the castle.
One guaranteed key in the front, as the case may be. It does look a little bit odd to see Zelda just following a flopping fish.
I know. Well, or a cursor.
It's like, will somebody tell Shadyforce that his cursor is on the screen?
There you go.
That's that's like the cheapest, easiest joke in the book, but I mean, it's got to happen at some point.
Sure.
This is the drag and drop portion. I get
There
it.
you go. Well, it's a long drag, but eventually we'll get to drop. Okay, there Obscure gets the bad news that the second drop is just a heart, and there will be no bombs from soldiers or snakes here.
So the only other potential drop point would be the rats in the back. And, there's a fairly sizable chunk of rats back there. And
Yeah.
often, like, when I have the Cane of Samaria, probably my the strat I like the most is to just kind of go up in the top right corner and just drop a block and just let them run into the silly thing.
I think that's a great strategy.
Because there's like 5 or 6 of them up there. They're just like...
Yeah, there's a couple of spots in one of those sewer rooms with all the water. There's just a ton of rats that you just kill really quickly. A single arrow. It does not help us at all.
Yeah, that is the opposite of a bomb.
No, I mean, it depends on your definition of bomb, right? No one really farming the rats yet, though.
Hey!
Oh, hey! Bomb prize pack of rats. We can just fill them up. Just kill a whole bunch of rats. As much as our magic will allow. Everybody's gonna get a bomb, and everybody's gonna get the items back. This is really good. I don't like it when one player gets a bomb and the other player doesn't, because it can really swing things in a race if that happens.
All right.
And boots! Well, that's a really good thing that we both got bombs, because that would not be fun to have to find out that your opponent got his boots really early and you didn't. No more bomb farming. You could do some here if you want. Yeah, looks like Obscure's gonna try and get some bombs. Hope for Kakariko. Didn't really try too hard though.
Both runners doing a pretty good job of noticing immediately that, hey, I've got the boots. I can run up and bonk this wall.
Yep. Yeah, it's a little faster to go to the top wall, but if you only have 1 or 2 bombs, you don't really want to waste it there.
Yeah, but I mean, with the boots,
absolutely.
There you go. And just that heads up on the fly change in routing, because you never know what you're going to get. That's basically what Randomizer's all about. And speaking of on the fly, we can also check the bonk rocks coming out of Escape.
We'll also probably see a early lumberjack check, because one of the things that people wait for to check that is the boots, but we have the boots, so we might as well just check them now.
All right, looks like, according to our chat, our illustrious chat, the map check there, we had a pendant at Desert and crystals at the other 2.
Yeah, that's what I saw as well. So nothing we can really do right now. The boots will be nice if we get early Desert access, because we'll be able to full clear it, with possible exception of Landmo. Is that a hook shot? That is a hook shot. Well, we're killing Aga.
Are we though? Because we have the boots.
Okay, so ObscureLifeForm does hover. That'd be a hell of a bet, though. I don't. Shadyforce does not. He has done the Moldorm bounce though. Hey, Glove sitting there in the woods. So these 2 both have outs if they really want to go for them, but gosh, the hookshot could hide so many other things too. And of course, obviously, if Swamp is a crystal, there's no choice.
Yeah. So really, you want to find out if Swamp is a crystal kind of as soon as possible, so you can plan out your strat here. But yeah, the thing is, there's nothing that says that hookshot is going to be early, right?
Oh no, not at all. Like an item on Aga doesn't mean you're gonna be able to get that item until it could be well into the race by the time you actually have the required items for Aga. And possibly the lamp could hide itself in a place that you just do it with the fire rod at some point. And Shady, good knowledge grabbing that. In fact, it looks like Obscure did
Both
too.
runners actually
Grabbing that bomb.
Grab the bonk bomb.
Which is nice because now you can do all these checks here and in the first 2 locations and not worry about whether there's a bomb.
And then if you really don't have bombs at that point, there's a shop down there.
Yeah, you just buy the 10 at that point.
And it's not like they're not going to have money for it. Good lord. Oh, and there's some bombs. So we just got the Zora package, apparently.
Now we're gonna lose money to the bottle vendor, but we're gonna be with 50 free rupees in Kakariko. They're gonna be pretty close to being able to just do Zora. And with those boots, you might see an early out of logic Zora check.
Well, it is in logic because we have the glove.
Okay, so Zora is in logic, but the other 3 items are not.
Correct.
But yeah, I mean, absolutely. Zora being the only one in logic, the only one you can actually go to is pretty bad because no one wants to go all the way there and not be able to sequence break the other items.
Absolutely.
Oh, hey, that's probably a mail upgrade.
There's a mail upgrade.
I think that's all it could be at this point. We have no swords, barely hearts.
I'm not gonna lie. I might internally weep every time I see one of those. Just like
yeah. Well, that's the biggest difference, I think, in hard mode. Because, I mean, everything else that happens in hard mode could just as well happen in a regular seed. But I find it extremely rare to go through an entire seed and not get a mail upgrade. And so doing, some of the harder bosses, and in particular Ganon on green mail, I think is pretty significant. But, you got this far. You definitely can handle it.
Because green mail, as they say, sucks.
Oh, hey, there's that moon pearl.
There we go.
Which means if there's something on Zora's ledge, they can do a combination of water walk and fake flipper strats to pick that up if it's a super important item.
Mm-hmm.
We don't currently. I guess Cane Samaria. There's probably. I'm pretty sure that Cane Samaria gets you some sort of Ancilla splash delete for it as well. But it's probably
also involves like the boomerang or something.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, and that's a mushroom.
Should probably get it.
Yeah, what a early fetch quests so often lead to things. So yeah, I think you have to pick this up.
And I mean, if we're thinking about going to Zora, I mean, it's kind of in the vicinity, so.
A little bit of a shame that we don't have a hammer to also sequence break the bat. They can, of course, save scum the mushroom so that they can just reset if it's nothing, but I kind of expect it will be something. And just these early fetch quests, like the early ones and the really late ones tend to have things, and the ones in the middle tend to be crap.
All right, so shadyforce running and ObscureLifeForm also at the same time, going the same direction. This is going to be a pretty similar route here, though.
Yeah,
looks like ObscureLifeForm is going right first here, which is interesting.
Yeah, sometimes runners will do this if they want to route in Dam and Nagina together, so that might be his plan. Shady doing the more traditional, let's check the dam first, and then we'll head over. I assume he's going to head over to Mini Moldorm. It's not unusual for runners to also go straight to Agina, but and with the boots, it's a little more likely because it's a little bit faster. But there's nothing to get you into desert, so you're only getting the one check and the one item and one check on the desert ledge.
We got a sword in Mini Moldorm Cave, as well as a big ol' heart, and enough pieces of heart to fill out another one. So 5 hearts is much less problematic than 3.
And a sword is nice too, but because now when you run, you can actually run through things. And you're gonna have to be careful here. Down
Unless
to
it's
one heart.
Of those.
Yeah, you can't run into the buzz blobs because those.
I mean, there is a sword with which you can do that. You wouldn't be getting it in this seed.
No.
Ice Rod Cave has a big ol' heart.
Yeah, we're pretty decent on hearts now, I'd say. 6 is a decent number. For this early. Except when you hit crabs like that, because they do 2 hearts of damage on green mail. You don't want to be hitting crabs. Crabs hurt.
Alright, ObscureLifeForm went ahead with the dash here with the boots, which means not gonna do the hobo thing.
Another heart.
Yeah, I mean, can't really complain.
Nope. Just arrows on the ledge, so we don't have to worry about that. That's always good.
Yeah.
See if Shady skips the hobo as well. I mean, the hobo's completely not in logic, but it's not an unusual check. He's gonna check the island and see just 20 rupees. Oh, and a hammer on Zora.
Hammer time.
There we go. That's Dark World
We all know who to
access.
thank for that.
So it might be a while before we get to that hook shot, because that's regular Dark World access, and we don't actually need to kill Aga for it, but we still need Aga for that hook shot. And we're about to see just how needed that hook shot is.
ObscureLifeForm looked like he was going to go for the
Yeah, I
high
thought he was
kick
going.
play, and then he decided.
But he's got no
"You know what?
bombs. No bombs.
Ooh, good call.
And he's only got 90 rupees, so he has to get bombs here. The bombs in the Dark World that would be most convenient to him would be 100 rupees, because it's the big bomb shop.
Oh yeah.
Shady, on the other
Also
hand, has
picked up a
4
heart.
bombs, so yeah, why not? I mean, it's only 10 rupees.
I think he might have accidentally picked up the heart trying
That's
to dash out
possible.
of the way.
That's possible too, you know. I mean, but you know, this Dark World is dangerous. Extra heart doesn't hurt. A lot of things do 2 hearts of damage, so now you can take an extra hit. And it is a crystal swamp, so we are going to be having to kill Aga. In fact, it's a red crystal.
Unfortunately for anybody
Turtle
who
Rock
wanted to see the
and
skip.
Mire. Yeah, Turtle Rock and Mire are crystals. Or sorry, are pendants.
Of course, we start with the cane, and now we don't need it. That's how it works.
Yeah, well, you know, we might still need it. It could be a...
Yeah.
Oh, there's a nice fire rod. And half magic to go with it. That's nice. But yeah, an early cane like that could mean they need it for the GT big key, so... I'm not going to call that cane useless yet. Plus, you know, I'd have to do Ice Palace, so I'll be able to do and Swamp, so Diver Down and Icebreaker. So no one's going to say no to having that cane.
Oh yeah, cane is, you know, second probably only to the boots in time saves at this point.
The better question... Oh, nice sword
Yo.
from Stumpy. So the better question is, I don't think you do it yet, but they could do Aga Tower right now, because they got the sword for it, they have a fire rod, so it's very much doable without the lamp, but it's not in logic yet. So at what point do you just say, screw it, I'm not going to find that lamp, and just go to Aga Tower? And at what point do you, at what point do you do that, if you do it?
That's a good question. I would say I'd probably take care of things like Thieves Town, Skull Woods first, just because I can.
I think that's reasonable.
And maybe I find the lamp or something in there.
Yep.
Or the bow. But I mean, the other thing you need before being able to access Swamp is the mirror. So
Yep.
Yeah, I think I would
And the
actually
flippers.
wait on Aga 1 until I had the mirror. That being
Yeah.
said, Shadyforce
Shady's just going for
has
it. He wants that
proven
hook
me wrong.
shot. But no, I mean, that's a reasonable assessment to say, well, I don't really need it until I have access to Swamp through the other things. Or even, you know, at the point where you might want to go up to the mountain with Mitts and do Hookshot Cave. Shady says, you know what, I can do Dark Aga, I have a Fire Rod, so it's not too bad. I'm just going to go do, I know it has to be done, so I'm just going to do it. And I think that's fine too, especially if you're really confident in doing this, especially if you know the setups for hitting those torches. That I don't know that I would do it without the fire rod here, but with the fire rod, it's just not that bad.
Oh yeah, without lampless Aga without fire rod is some kind of garbage.
Yeah.
It can be done. It's not pretty.
Also, that tempered sword makes things nicer.
Oh yeah.
Meanwhile, Obscure checking out Swamp and go. Sorry, Skullwood's gonna full clear this. So like he checked one item.
SW and SP, it just kind of goes back and forth.
Well, I feel like Skullwoods is more swampy, and like Swamp is like watery.
Fair enough. And I mean, to be fair, the dungeon that's in the thing that looks like a swamp to me is Misery Mire. So
yeah, that's fair. Well, it is a mire, you know. Yeah, Shady through the most difficult parts of he's done with the dark rooms. Had no trouble whatsoever, so probably a good call on his part to just go ahead and do this now. I don't think Obscure is going to lose time doing this later, unless he has a hard time figuring out how to route it in. I don't know. I don't see it making a big time difference either way. But we'll see. Could depend on just when you get the rest of the access to Swamp and or the access to Death Mountain.
I might be a little more inclined to do Aga 1 if I find a bow. That way I could do that and then go right to Pod.
Ooh, that's a good plan. I mean, maybe there'll be something. Well, there might be something good sitting on the on Pyramid Ledge. It does make that check easy. Sometimes it's hard to fit that in.
All right.
Oh, there's an item on Moth, so that's good. So Obscure, I think, just needs to get one more item out of here.
I don't believe there was another item up in the front, but I could be making that up.
I'll see if he goes back in.
Well, the Aga play is required. We know this because the hook shot is on the lumberjack ledge. It's not required at this very moment, but
it's not even logic this very moment. But yeah. But lamp logic is one of the most ignored logics in this game. So
I didn't even see what that was in Skullwoods there.
Yeah, I think it was it might have just even been a key. I'm not sure.
Could be.
Yeah, chat, and along with our tracker bandman, seeing that it was indeed a key. I have not been counting blue balls, but yeah, there goes down Aga, so.
All right, ShadyForce.
Oh
dear!
That's a mirror.
That is
wow.
a thing.
So remember how we talked about waiting till you have swamp access to do this?
Well,
I mean, either one of them could have decided to just check the pyramid ledge, but I could definitely also see the argument that you don't check the pyramid ledge because you know you're going to do Aga anyway and you're going to see it then, so
that would
if you cling to those things too much, it might be a while before Obscure gets there. Oh, but there's a bow, so he might do it sooner, because like you were talking about with that bow. If he were to do it now, he could just do Pod and Eastern right after the pyramid, which would be really nice, actually.
Yeah, that's good times right there. Piece of heart at the mushroom.
Doesn't even pick it up. This is going to be a catfish check. Yep, that is where Shady is headed. Meanwhile, Obscure probably going to do Village of Outcasts, and then Thieves Town.
Our Sea House has a shield. One of only 2 you will find in this game.
The little shield is almost as big as the 4 fish. And let's see what Catfish has for us. Powder. So to be determined. Certainly a nice luxury item. It's probably my favorite luxury item in the
I was
game.
sitting here like, is he going to scum the mushroom? No, he's not, because he just picked up the powder.
No point in saving that mushroom now. Okay, looks like Shady now going to go ahead and do Skullwood's Village Outcast and the checks that Obscure is doing right now and the crystals that Obscure is doing right now. Or maybe he's going up. No, he's going to the mountain.
Looks like it. Wait.
Or oh no, he's just going to the hook shot. I'm
the
dumb. let's do the thing. That's the whole reason why we went and killed Aga. There's a plan.
My brain switched the two runners, so I was like, "Yeah, you know what you're talking about, don't you?"
Sometimes.
Brain, hello, brain.
Hello, hook shot. Let's go. So far, I don't think Obscure's found anything in Thieves Town, so. Which is a little unfortunate for him, but, you know, I mean, this is all stuff that Shady's gonna do anyway, and Thieves Town is not a go mode dungeon ever. Like, every once in a while in Key Sandy, you can get a good go mode Thieves Town, or, you know, some weird situations, but...
And then I still open all the chests, because I'm dumb.
Because you're so used to not go moding it that you just forget to skip them.
It looks like we did find a bottle there in Thieves Town, at least, so
yes.
that's
yeah, I think it was a
possibility.
Fairy. Yeah, won't be able to check it for a bit, though.
I mean, if you were shadyforce, you could.
Yeah, he could. He might. Wait, where is he
what
going?
What exactly is going on here?
I mean, I was about to say a pet check, but he doesn't have a book, so, I really don't know.
Shadyforce, are you okay?
I mean, speaking of books.
I guess just going to the portal over here.
Yeah, this is kind of the slow way to go to the portal. It may very well be that he was thinking pet check and then realized he didn't have a book, so he just kept going to get to the portal.
Chat was saying they call it the Lost Woods for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like some of the other Zelda games, Lost Woods, where you actually get lost and the thing cycles unless you know the right pattern, but, you know. This one's just a maze of confusion.
Alright, ObscureLifeForm going to pick up Blind. And we'll see what's in the chest line there. Okay, we're going to the big chest.
Yes, we are. Unless we haven't seen Map and Compass, but I think we have, so... And a Quake, so a nice to-be-determined medallion that we hope never to use because our medallion dungeons are pendants.
That being said, we have in fact found all 3 medallions at this point, so...
Yeah, that's not exactly... A cane, 3 medallions, and 2 pendant medallion dungeons that both need the cane. Not exactly something I want to see.
Not super encouraging.
No, not at all. That being said, we're a long way from pet being a thing. At this point, it would only the flippers, I believe, are all that's left that could be there. So. Yeah, chat suggesting flippers go mode. I always say it's flippers no mode because it depends on who picks them up.
Alright, ObscureLifeForm takes down Blind. Shadyforce getting pretty close on this moth fight here, and he does not have the bottle, so be real careful. But
yeah, I liked his use of the fire rod to do extra damage from afar. It also gets a moth off those spikes. And of course, yeah, we do need mitts. So easy to forget those mitts. Mitts go mode would be beautiful. It's always such a nice go mode.
Ice Palace lamp, gross.
Could happen. Could be in left side swamp. I mean, that's a possibility.
Extra gross.
That'd be, yeah, definitely even grosser. Because I mean, at least with Canis Samaria, any worries about swamp being hookshot locked only amount to, well, the hookshot can't be behind it. But Ice Palace being a regular crystal, that doesn't really mean much.
So this is a little unfortunate for Obscure Lifeform. He's going straight to the pod eastern area here.
Yeah, doesn't want to do Aga without the lamp, but I kind of feel like if like pod without the lamp isn't great either. Eastern, I mean, none of them are great, but you know, I mean, they're all dark rooms that you're used to. I guess you're just more used to doing those. Hey, look, there's a lamp. Well, hey, now maybe he goes and does it. Like I would just leave at this point. But
I don't know. I mean,
but
he's
of
already
course-
over here. Might as well do eastern.
Yeah, for all he knows, Amir could be in Eastern, could be in pod. So it looks like everybody's going to get the lamp. I can't see Shady Force skipping that unless he finds his go mode flippers before going there. I mean, that's possible.
But I think it probably does make quite a bit of sense for Obscure Lifeform to just go do Aga 1 right after Eastern. Depends on how you intend to route it, but it seems reasonable to me, given the fact that you have the lamp and you know you have to do it anyway.
Yeah, and it's not like you're gonna be spit out at a point where, as you said earlier, would allow you to go to pod right there. Whereas here you have to walk all the way down to the portal and walk all the way back up, and I don't think you're saving time doing that versus just doing Aga right away.
And you definitely want to do, if you were in Shady Force's position, you would absolutely want to do pod followed by Eastern, just because you have the mirror. But
yeah, Shady will
have that.
Yeah, Shady will do pod followed by Eastern. The only question is, does he do some mirror checks before?
All right, another bottle for Obscure Lifeform as Shady Force retraces his steps in Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, not going to see much new here. The only thing we may see is if Shady follows that mirror, he could go over and do Graveyard Ledge, or he might choose. He could do Graveyard Ledge. He could do King's Tomb, the north, or he could go to the south and do K45. I feel like Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb would be the one you'd do if you're just going to do one, just because that's two locations at the same time, and a little harder to get to later on. Okay. So yeah, we really want to see his flippers before mitts. That mitts go mode would be really nice, and also if flippers come first, then that means that like Pet is just dead. You don't have to ever worry about Misery Mire. You don't ever have to worry about Turtle Rock.
And you can absolutely go mode Ice Palace for sure in that case. I mean, I think we can go mode Ice Palace no matter what.
Yeah, I think so, because we're gonna get. Yeah, Ice can't have either one, so. Ice Palace is just gonna be a go mode dungeon. You might even just do it early if it's convenient, just to get it over with. If the flippers don't get found, I mean, there's not gonna be a difference doing it now or later. You just can't do it until you have mitts. But of course, we can fake flipper at Ice.
I believe that's all the items in Eastern, so Obscure is just going for the crystal now.
Yeah, so we'll get some new checks, probably on Shady's side once he's done with Ustown.
Oh, we got a book.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice
Obscure
that.
got that. Yeah, Obscure got that earlier, of course. Oh, you know what we could end up with? Wow, I mean, this might be wishful thinking, but this could be a Hera last seed. That so rarely happens.
Oh, that's fun stuff. Obscure Lifeform did have a little issue with that last arrow on the final Igor here, but we are setting up for the quick kill on Armos. 5 shots to the right, and then just straight down till morning here.
Yeah. The fish doing a great job with that bow, even though it's twice his size.
And he doesn't really have the opposable thumbs or the limbs necessary to pull
Yep.
strings and all that mess.
Okay, so as far as crystals goes, Obscure Lifeform a bit in the lead here, but he still has to kill Aga, and he still needs to get that mirror sitting on the ledge there, and of course pick up the hook shot.
Unfortunately, it does
And
look
he's
like
going to
someone
pod.
picked pod.
Yep.
Which, he's gonna do Aga 1 at some point, so he's not gonna be missing the mirror forever. But it would be kind of obnoxious.
Yeah, I am really surprised he doesn't do Aga first again,
In fact-
because this just because it spits you out right by pod anyway. Made sense, I think, to do Eastern first. He didn't have the lamp when he went over here, so getting that Eastern play done, it's a full clearable crystal dungeon. That dark room is pretty trivial once you have a fire rod. The dark room without the torches is, in my opinion, the easiest dark room in the game. So it made a lot of sense.
And I think you go for Aga after this just because this has also put the mountain in logic, and you know where the hookshot is, which will put the that other area in logic, and you'll just happen to get the mirror along the way. So
yeah, he can't do anything on the mountain until he has either mirror or hookshot, but the mirror is sitting there behind Aga 1, and the hookshot's sitting here behind Aga 1, so the only thing he can do on the mountain.
5 rupees to spare.
Yeah, the only thing he can do on the mountain is get the old man item, go into the Spectacle Rock Cave and get that item, and stare longingly at whatever's sitting on Spectacle Rock.
I think in theory you could do Spike Cave.
Yeah, he could do Spike Cave. That's true. Because he's got Cane and Burna. But
who would actually do that in practice? I don't know. I mean, if that's all you were up there for, then maybe.
Okay, Shady not doing the extra check, so let's see if he goes over to Pod Eastern. Also, of course, when you kill Aga with the mirror, you start up on the pyramid if you save and quit in the Dark World. Probably on purpose, since he wants to go to Pod anyway.
Most of the time, I find that to be quite annoying and frustrating because I always forget. This time, it would have been quite convenient.
Yeah, and whether he did it on purpose or not, he's probably happy it worked out this way.
And he's probably going to mirror here to get the Sahasrah's closet.
Yeah, I think so. There's 3 items here, you don't skip them.
Very, very nice mirror location, basically right in the door frame.
He just needs to remember that he has to wait for his iframes to die out before Kiki will join him. Otherwise, he's going to walk out of that hedge maze without Kiki and have to double back.
That's why when I come out of the mirror, I usually just go down and around instead of straight right. That way,
That's a good idea.
There's enough time and I don't have to worry about it.
There we go.
Turning back around. All right, both runners entering pod. Looks like Obscure Lifeform is going to be clearing the boss real quick, and then perhaps coming back in for some other things.
Yeah, Obscure without the mirror, I really like this choice. This way he can just save and quit out of the dark maze. Shady, I don't think it matters, because he can do full clear the back, mirror out, and just do the front at that point. So in Shady's case, it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other, which you do first. With the early big key, though, it's nice to have that choice. And Obscure, like I said, since he now can just finish out the dungeon in the back and just save and quit, not worry about death warping or anything, I definitely like this for him.
Yep. Just the different things you notice when you have different available items and how it affects how you route specific areas. There's a lot of subtlety in that some people won't pick up on.
And Obscure in the room that you want the fire, whichever fire the most, or just finishing. That total room is pretty nasty without something, either the lamp or a fire rod to light the torches.
Ooh, Obscure Lifeform with the key dash.
Nice. That's hard to get in that room.
Uh-huh. Me, I like to just kind of line up and hope and pray.
Yeah.
Like that. There's probably a reliable setup for it. I don't know it.
And a shovel.
Well, now I kind of feel like Obscure Lifeform is going to check that before doing AGA 1, but probably
He might.
not much else.
But that won't lose too much time, and maybe it's got something. He's going to go back in. I'm pretty certain the big key chest is just another small key. I think that's our 4th small key of the front. So, since the front has to have 4 small keys, he should be able to skip it. Shady also electing to do the back first, which, in his case, isn't as big a deal, but it's still fine.
These are the wonderful key logic things you learn as you spend way too much time looking at the spoiler logs and things like that, and the code of the game.
I know. I had a little bit of fun playing a few weeks ago. We did the retro very first seed ever race on SRL, and there was a small key in the big chest of Pod, which no longer can happen.
Nice. That's the one where you can overwrite your swords, right?
Actually, I was even before that. It was vanilla swords.
Yeah.
So the strat is to you get your fighter sword on
Fighter sword,
Uncle,
go
but then
get it tempered.
then just skip to tempered because there's no reason to get a master sword there. And that's how vanilla works anyway. If you know how to do some of the more sequence breaky and more glitchy modes, you just skip right past the master sword.
Yeah. Ain't nobody want to do pet.
Blue boomerang is nice. Not what we're looking for. Shovel is annoying. Not what we're looking for. Blue groupie is not even nice. And what's our last item here? Piece of heart. Okay.
Right, so just kind of a load of garbage here in Pod.
Yeah, complete load of garbage. Okay. So Obscure, he's gotta check that shovel. I think you're right. Let's see.
Nope, he's going for
going
AGA.
straight to AGA. Okay, good.
That's reasonable.
At some point, you just gotta do it. And he's down to not great choices. Pretty much that shovel and the early mountain dip, which, as we said, for him has very little appeal with very little items available.
Yeah, I guess neither runner has done sort of the Smith chain and all that South Dark World things.
Yeah, I thought... Didn't we see Stumpy? I'm trying to remember if either one of them went
Stumpsman
left.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Stumpy had the tempered sword. I think we saw Dig Game. We had obviously K45. Neither one had the mirror at the time, so.
Right.
Well, if you want to do a Smith chain with the purple chest, you could drag your purple chest and do K45 at that point. Of course, that's only going to be relevant if we find mitts before flippers. We could chain K45 and dig spot at the same time. That's a possibility as well. But I suspect we're going to see some mountain checks after this. At the moment, that will be our most item-dense area.
Yeah, Paradox Cave is calling your name.
Yeah. And we'll see. And in normal situations, I would probably say just go do Hera and then do Paradox Cave. But I could definitely see doing Paradox first in the hopes of getting that Hera as your final dungeon. We'll see what the runners choose to do. Shady gonna go ahead and do Eastern because you're here, you're never gonna be closer, so you want to do it now. He doesn't know there's also a load of crap in Eastern Palace as well as Pod. This whole area, the only thing for the runners in this entire area was that lamp. Pending green pendant, but oh my god, if they have to do green pendant in this seed, that would just
that's
not cool game.
Good old-fashioned gross right there.
Of course, without an ice rod, we don't even have to think about that.
Yeah.
You're falling. Careful, down to 2 hearts. You don't usually take damage from Aga, so he should be fine, but not exactly ideal either.
If you want to be extra careful on Aga, you can just make sure that you're directly to the left or right of him when you spin, and if it's a blue ball, it'll just kind of pass around you.
Yeah. A lot of runners do that anyway, so.
Oh yeah, he does have the fairy bottle. That's right.
No, yeah. That'd be a terrible place to use it, though. Alright. All things we've seen before. Shady gonna finish up Eastern. Obscure gonna finish up Agate Tower.
That's what I thought. The big key to Eastern was in the first chest,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
and Obscure Lifeform went the long way around for the big key chest.
Oh, like you mean for the big chest?
No, I mean for the big key chest. Like, he went around thinking he didn't have the big key. Like, he didn't open the big chest.
Right.
And if he had done so, he would have had all 3 items.
And could have skipped the... Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's a little unfortunate. A little bit of a time loss. You know what? Those little things can make a difference. We're close enough that they most definitely can make a difference, but we're going to be shortly in a situation where there's a lot of checks open, searching for a couple of items that, I mean, the flippers don't open a lot, and the mitts open a ton. Again, if we find mitts before flippers, then we're going to be all over the world searching for the flippers.
All right, so Obscure Lifeform has managed to acquire the mirror. And ShadyForce has managed to get the heck out of Eastern, and both of them will probably be heading up the mountain shortly.
Yep, pretty much in sync, I think.
Yeah,
Obscure's still got to
get the boots.
Yeah, it's got to get that hook shot, and then they'll meet up in the old man cave. Yeah, if the boots were here. If the boots were here, you're playing a mystery seed, and you find out it's beatable, and you just cry. Because you're not getting them.
No logic.
Yeah, that too. That's another one.
But luckily, you're playing on overworld glitches, so you had the boots all the whole time.
Oh, there you go. Shady gonna be the first into the old man cave. And the old man being that one annoying follower that if you try and run with him, he will actually slow you down. It's kind of funny how every follower has a slightly different characteristic. And what's the old man got for us? Just some bombs that we don't need. Okay, Shady, you gonna go east or you gonna go to Hera first? I could see the merits of doing either one. If you find your go mode in Paradox Cave, say, hey, there's silvers that will not be silvers.
That's the other depressing thing about this mode. Is
yeah,
right
I mean,
now,
at least they know where it is.
The visible progressive bow.
Yeah, normally, and bow's the only item that does this. I don't know why. Normally, the bow will just show up as 20 rupees. If you picked it up, it would be turned into 20 rupees. If you pick it up in a chest, you'll never know it's the bow unless you talk to your opponent and he got his bow in a different place. Every other item, like the next sword, doesn't show up as a gold sword if you see it there. So it's kind of weird that the bow does that.
It's because the progressive bows were most recently implemented, and they just forgot to add that to the thing that need to change.
Yeah, Obscure showing his feelings about that location of that bow. Alright, that compass, not the start you want to find to Hera. And that small key even worse. Gosh, you know, this is not a good spot to Hera pot, because the odds of the item being in the big chest is high enough, and you're only missing those 2 items, so it'd be very punishing if you miss your item here. Now, Shady is going to go for the Hera pot. We'll see if he goes back in if the item does turn out to be in the big chest, because that's the other option.
Alright, gets it on the second try.
We're both going to do it, though. So they'll be equal if they both decide to skip the big chest if it turns out to have the item.
Yeah, different strats on both sides. Flippers.
Oh, there are flippers, and we do find flippers before Mitz, so we are Mitz go mode.
So much for last Hera, though.
So no Ped, no Misery Mire, no Turtle Rock. Desert Palace could still be a thing.
Yeah, the book being available, I mean, yeah, you could definitely have to go in there.
Now, I don't know if I'd feel good as either runner in the seed, just because, like, I mean, obviously it's fun to play a jet seed like this, but it's also, you gotta assume that your opponent has routed it pretty well too, because there haven't been too many divergence points for the runners. Okay, and a heart container means we don't have to worry about that big chest.
I think the difference between our two runners right now is, you know, an extra chest in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, sounds about right. And what do we even have at this point? We have mirror checks in the non-Death Mountain area. We have... Oh, Obscure just gonna go straight to Swamp Palace, I think.
Okay, it's a bold move, Cotton.
I mean, he's got to do it anyway. Probably goes to the back first, because when you go -1, you don't typically do left side first. And then assuming it's not in the back, he'll have to make the decision as to whether or not he goes to the back. If it's not in Swamp and it's not here on the mountain, I think that just leaves mirror checks. So K45, Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb.
Chad's right. It's probably on Crocomire.
Yeah, I've had that before. Thank you. Pick your go mode item and put it on Crocomire in SMZ3, and I've had it. Bugnet, not really useful.
ObscureLifeForm just now getting the damn check done.
Oh, that's right. He hasn't done this yet.
Seems legit. All right, Paradox Cave top 5. What do we got? 50 rupees. A flute. Which does not unlock a squat.
No, doesn't do anything for us. I don't even know if you even bother activating that. Like, what does it even get you? Like, you're close enough to Swamp Palace without it. You're close enough to Ice Palace without it. And anything else behind it is mislocked anyway, and that's all you're looking for, so I don't think you activate it.
It's kind of weird, but have access to the duck and not actually want to use it. That's weird. So the Mire Shed checkerboard thing, like, you still need the mitts for those, and the mitts are the only thing we're looking for. So, yeah, there's no reason to go for anything that would otherwise be mitts locked. Of course, we all know the mitts are just going to be on the dig spot, right?
Oh, that'd be crazy. Actually, that in some sense, that would be interesting in that they both could have checked it a lot earlier. Neither did. But I suspect if you finish Swamp and, full clear it, your next checks are going to be in some order or another. Bombos, K45, Dig Spot, and then Graveyard Ledge, King's Tomb after that. Because that's all we got. Obscure, I don't think it's checked Catfish, so he's got that as well.
There is one more. Well, two more. There's the Magic Bat from Catfish, right?
Oh, yeah, because Shady.
And then there's Agina's Cave.
Oh, yeah, we haven't even checked Agina. That'd be crazy if that was their other glove. And, of course, we have Desert, so I think Agina/Desert probably comes last.
Maybe. Like, a reasonable route here would be K45, Dig Spot, Bombos, Agina's Cave, Desert.
Yeah, that actually would be a very reasonable route.
Ice Rod. What up?
Well, we don't have to worry about that anymore. Don't need it. Don't care. Yeah, you can have your Ice Rod back game. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so far, no mitts in the back unless it's on Argus. I don't know how many dungeon items Obscure has, so whether this is still... IR irrelevant rod, according to chat, so there you go.
Pyramid Fairy into K45 and Bombos. There you go.
Pyramid Fairy is an option after Swamp Palace.
Yeah, this could be a very, very close, exciting race right up to the end. So I'm
hoping
on
for
board
it.
with this plan. All right, so how many R's are in Argus?
How many?
It's one more than the last time you said it. It's Argus, and then Argus, and then Argus, and then Argus. Anyway. Shady Force with that left side diver down that I'm not used to seeing, but there you go.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. Runners that do a lot of and Obscure not going back in, so interesting choice. A lot of runners that do some of the. I mean, obviously NMG, you're not allowed to use the diver down in the icebreaker. But if you do some of the more glitch categories, most runners will do that version because it is a little bit faster. Yeah. Okay, so not Bombos.
Alright, so probably going to go for K45 and dig, and then maybe to Pyramid Fairy. That seemed like a reasonable set.
Yeah, I like this routing from Obscure.
And ObscureLifeForm actually hasn't done the digging game yet.
No, that's true, he hasn't.
Enough money. Another bottle with another fairy, and he thought about skipping.
It's not a bad safety to pick up. Let's see if Shady. Checking his. He checked it too quickly to see whether he had Baffling Compass or not.
It would be a very interesting situation if Turtle Rock somehow contained the myth. I don't think that's going to happen though.
Yeah, we would need some glitches to do that. Shady also not going back in. I am not even sure they got the. Oh yeah, Obscure skipping the dig spot.
Well, I mean, sometimes you do what you do.
Yeah. So both runners did do Stumpy because that's where they got their tempered swords. And Shady going to continue on here. I mean, at least check the desert ledge, right?
More divergence.
So that's like a sword or something. probably a heart container, but heart piece or whatever.
All right, Pyramid Fairy from ObscureLifeForm. Is it Mit's time or not?
Meanwhile, we're gonna see Shady Force checking Agina's cave. Lots of money. Not gonna check desert.
Drops a B for a good B.
Yeah, not really useful. I mean, the few places that can actually come in handy we're well past those, like Mini Moldorm Cave. I mean, I guess if you hadn't killed Moth, you could use it there. Yeah, progressive beast is chat. There you go.
Looks like it's ObscureLifeForm. Well, it looked like he was going for a catfish, but I guess not. Looks like maybe the Graveyard Ledge King's Tomb play.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. I do love me some mitts at King's Tomb.
That is kind of a fun one. Shady looks like he's going to be doing the same thing.
I guess if you really wanted to go to Catfish, you could just go right there after this.
Yeah, I think that's probably his plan. If this isn't, it's not. Ooh.
Really?
Forgetting King's Tomb.
I'm not on board with that.
No, I'm not either. Where are we going now? Back into the Dark World. Maybe he's gonna do he hasn't done Bombos, so he could do Bombos into Desert like we were talking, and Agita.
No, he did Bombos.
Oh, he did Bombos? Okay.
He just decided to go to K45.
He just remembered the shovel, I think.
Shovel time.
Just rupees at the shovel spot. Okay, Shady, you're gonna check King's Tomb, right? Right? Yes. Because we want to know what's there. Are we down to desert after this?
It might be. Well, that and Magic Bat.
Oh yeah, Magic Bat. If it's Magic Bat, Obscure needs to get over to Catfish to get that powder. Red boomerang. Okay, not the answer.
All right, Obscure Lifeform.
Heading in.
Desert.
I don't know why we're not seeing a save and quit from Shady. I don't know what else he has in this area to even check. Because he did Catfish.
It's not that far out to go to Magic Bat this way.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
And, you know, like, he doesn't have the flute activated, so...
Yeah, if he's planning on going to desert after that, yeah, he could activate the flute to get over there. And at this point, that would probably actually be a reason to activate it. Yeah, in fact, he's going to do that first. Oh, Sick Kid! We haven't seen Sick Kid yet, have we? And Sick Kid just gives us all his money. Poor kid.
Well, I mean...
Oh, now he's poor, because he just gave us 300 bucks.
I was going to say, maybe he thinks we're the doctor and this is America. I mean, what?
Okay, we got one more item in desert. We've got powder check.
All right, Magic Bat, what do you have? Piece of heart.
Oh, are we? I think that leaves us with desert. And if yours in the right place for it.
Oh yeah, nobody checked
Hobo. That's right. That was an very early could have checked out of logic. Shady about to activate that flute. Or not. Is there anything left over here for him?
He hasn't done K45 or...
Oh, yeah.
Or dig spot.
Right, so he's gonna do those now. Oh, that's right. We didn't see left side swamp, although I'm not 100% sure there was anything there. So we definitely saw Shady check his menu to see how many items were back there.
Someone in chat said that there was at least one item.
Yeah, it's so rare. It's extremely rare that left side has nothing. So one item in left side swamp would not surprise me. And Bandman, our tracker. Our tracker's the MVP, is always knowing what's up, telling us there's one item there, so I believe him. Accidentally selecting the flute, which is still not activated, and now will never be activated because at this point, nah, you're not going back to that area.
I mean, luckily he didn't have to dodge a duck there.
Okay, so we're down to an item on Landmo, and I think Shady's head. Oh,
left side
doing
swamp,
Pyramid Fairy.
Hobo.
Left side swamp, Hobo. Yeah, Shady's gonna do Pyramid Fairy. And for a Mitz go mode.
Spike Cave?
Oh dear God, you're right. That is a location it could be. Also with Mirror and yeah.
Knowledge and me right at the same time just thought of it. We're just like, yep.
That's not a location you want to deal with. And there they are on Landmo. So Obscure Lifeform in Go mode at 102 plus.
So much for that prediction thing.
I didn't even see what it was, but I presume it was down to where those mitts were going to be. So a little bit of a shame that Shady did not activate that fluke, because he'd go right there, but he may be checking the Hobo first. In fact, they're kind of running to the same place, only Shady is checking an item and can't get into Ice Palace, and Obscure is just going to beeline it into Ice Palace. So Shady is essentially going to be a dungeon behind, because he's going to full clear desert looking for those mitts.
Yeah. So basically the boldest play actually turned out pretty good, where Obscure just completely skipped Paradox Cave.
Right, I totally forgot about that until somebody just mentioned it in chat, and then you mentioned it right afterwards. And didn't go back to it after. Which may be the even more important thing, because, you know, Swamp having nothing, you might say, well, I'm going to go back up Paradox, see what's there. Shady just doesn't want to go into Desert. I don't blame him. He's going to do Spike Cave, and it's not going to be the answer.
ObscureLifeForm kills all the Pen Gators and then realizes, wait a minute, I don't need to open that.
That's pretty classic. He is going to want to go back. You know, did he get a big key? Because he's going to want to hit that switch when you're in go mode. He did not get a big key. Okay. Obscure. Did I miss him hitting the switch? I don't think so.
This is not going to work out the way you want it to.
Wait, Shady, no, we got both items out of Hera. This is not the answer. If he keeps skipping chess and doesn't, he's not even checking that one, which is completely on the way. He's going to get to the bottom, and he's going to have to mirror back out, because he's going to realize that, whoops, didn't hit that switch. I'm one that doesn't like to hit the switch in not go mode, but in go mode, you have to hit it, because you don't want to search out that big key. Unfortunately, with Shady last locationing Desert, he did not hit the switch, and he doesn't have a big key. And you have choices. I mean, you can hope it's iced tea.
Yeah, that would
bail him out decently.
That would make your day there.
If it's not, you're gonna be doing some searching, and I think I would just mirror out at this point. But that's just me. I think Shady's got Desert left, and now is gonna head over there. Not gonna feel good. Okay, Obscure finally says, you know what, let's just mirror out and try this again. He doesn't know he's got a pretty decent lead for this, but...
Yeah, that's gonna feel like he's probably going to be super nervous now, thinking, oh my goodness, I blew it so hard. And luckily for... Little does he know, he's quite in the lead right now.
Yeah, just making that decision... certainly the Paradox skip was a big factor. But just getting to Desert faster, because Shady looked like he was almost going to go there, and I don't know if he was thinking about it, because he did do that bombos into Agena Cave, and then could have just kept going into Desert right then and there, and chose not to. And at that point, you know, you got a whole bunch of crap checks. That was no more or less crap than any other, and it's 2 items. But I can certainly don't blame him for, you know, going in or not going in at that point. You just have so many bad checks. You just got to pick one.
Yeah, I mean, having to go to the boss here is kind of brutal too.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, ObscureLifeForm now heading down the stairs with a renewed sense of not getting trolled by the game or your brain.
Yeah, I would say that wasn't the game trolling him. Like if you're out is getting the big key and iced tea, that you brought that on yourself. Also interesting, a lot of things behind those boots. The hookshot was behind him. The mitts are behind him. So we're gonna get a torch big key.
Yeah, we definitely had torch big key. Oh, you mean in GT?
Yeah, in GT.
Right,
we have it. Yeah, we could have 2 torch big keys. That's right.
All right, ObscureLifeForm busting out the Bombo strats. I love some Bombo strats early on, especially when you got all that magic to spare.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is a little bit slower technically than doing 8 fire rod shots, but it's much safer.
Yeah, it's nice to have that fire rod as a nice backup if anything goes wrong on the cold
the
steel pipe.
chat goes nuts with the numbers.
Numbers. Why all the numbers? We just said 6 inches.
Some people just like numbers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I like numbers.
I actually think that's 6 feet.
Oh, you're right. That is 6 feet.
But yeah, 6. There are 22 possible locations in Ganon's Tower in which the big key can reside, and a lot of people like to guess 1 to 22 in terms of the order in which they are checked, which one is done, or which one has it, and the torch does count as soon as you see it, so...
Yep, absolutely.
That's why I say 22 locations and not 22 chests.
Gotta word things carefully. Shady about to get his Go Mode mitts, and he'll be off to Ice Palace. He doesn't even stay for the pendant drop, nor should he.
Yeah, imagine if you skipped Zora early this run and went Desert early.
Yeah, well, the book was in Thieves Town, so you weren't going to get that book early enough that you're likely to do that. Like, there's always better things to do at that point, but yeah, if you, as I said, if you get the mitts before the flippers, that's always problematic in these situations. Hey, bomb blast for Turtle Rock in case we care. We have that because we have all the medallions.
Now, because of the seed or the difficulty pool here, I don't expect our runners to open any additional chests of any kind because they've pretty much gotten everything they could possibly want. With the minor exception, you could somewhat use the cape on Ganon if you really want to.
Cape is a nice item. It's not one you're likely to look for. They're both missing 2 hearts. Chances are one of them is Sankart. Sankart is always Sankart, and it's somewhere out there. I don't know if they're missing 4 pieces of heart or a container heart for the other one. They're going straight down to Hope Room. 2 small keys. Let's see. He's going to keep going. I actually like this. I talked about this earlier. That early cane. We didn't need that cane for anything else other than getting through escape, so we'll see if we actually need it here.
That being said, I think logically in terms of the way the seed does it, because it's a standard randomized swords, the cane would have been one of the first, almost the first thing selected, right? Because it's
right. Well,
that was the uncle's weapon.
Right. So the game places the keys first. So if the big key is over here, then maybe there's a slight bias into giving the cane as the uncle weapon. I don't know. I think this maybe holds true a little bit more if you find cane on path, not in as your first uncle item. Yeah, and not today, so... Unless it's in Tile Room, in which case we're not going to see that for a while.
Alright, so 2 keys on the right side. Torch time. Number 7, just 10 arrows.
Yeah, we don't need those.
Definitely
Definitely have seen situations where runners have come into GT low on arrows, and that's actually a nice thing to see, so long as you have boots. But today we were at 30 arrows. We did all the arrow-heavy dungeons pretty early.
Well, there's all 4 small keys, so Tile Room is definitely in play at this point.
Yeah, it sure is. Well, if it is Tile Room, that's Shady's only out at this point. If it is Tile Room and he were to go straight there, he might have a shot at this. That'd be a bold play, though.
There's a little bit of weird key logic, kind of like Pod, where, so 2 Hope Room chests, the 4 chests in that room, the torch chest, and the upcoming lava or fire snake room. If there's not at least 3 keys in those, then Tile Room is a key.
And we'll see Rando Room next, so call, because we only see it in Randos. Shady goes to the dark world to go up because he doesn't have the portal open already.
So, I mean, I've been told that it's faster even if you don't have the portal open.
Yeah,
but
I've been told that too, but of course that's also if you do it optimally. So if you're better at optimally doing this, then it makes sense to just do it this way.
Yeah, and also I'm, not in this tournament, so I'm really
same.
unqualified.
And there's the big key, right before we have to do Ice Armos.
Well, all right then. That's going to be number 18, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, because 4 checks left that we didn't get to, so... Sometimes it's just easier to do subtraction than it is to count.
I mean, that's how I did it.
Yep. But yeah, with that big key location, there's no way Shady can gain any time on this. At this point, ObscureLifeForm would have to make a pretty big mistake. But it's only game 1, so Shady's going to have chances to come back. Not playing game 2 until the early hours of Sunday morning. So.
Yeah, some of the runners are at all over the world here, so the time of day in which some of these races occur is kind of up in the air, but I enjoy any time I can get in here and talk about Zelda.
Absolutely.
Slight miss on that fire rod shot, but moving on. ObscureLifeForm now heading to land mode 2. Nicely done. And swapping to the Cane of Samaria for the most satisfying rooms in the game.
Yeah, I wish I had thought to use Samaria back when I played this back in the day. I had no idea how good a weapon that was until I started watching speedruns.
If you have this game with stereo audio and you do that first room perfectly, it sounds so good. Like,
yeah, I have to rely on other people doing it perfectly because when I play, I don't have stereo. When I watch on Twitch, I get the stereo. So there you go. Obscure low. Okay, I guess we're not grabbing that magic. Obscure's low on health, and he does not have the powder to bail him out. So he's gonna have to be careful up here.
He does, however, have, I believe,
2 fairies.
2 fairies.
Yeah,
yes,
2 fairies. I think that's correct.
Did he ever turn in the mushroom?
I don't think he did. I mean, overall, he did a lot of skips that Shady didn't do. And Shady checked Catfish, checked the mushroom.
I'm like, because if he didn't, he could fake powder there.
Yeah, that's true. He could.
Which I've seen people use in like an NMG run just because they don't want to go out of the way for the powder, but the mushroom is kind of on the way to the sword.
Yeah, or you could even accidentally run into the mushroom.
All right, ObscureLifeForm finishing off Moldarm and getting a little bit bodied in this room because that's what this room is for.
Terrible room. Even worse if you don't have boots. Thankfully, we've had boots for a long time in the seed.
Now it is the Wizard of Angles. Oof. A little bit of a miss there, resulting in just 1 hit. And now we get the double with the blue ball. And there we go. 1-2, 1-2, and Obscure Lifeform heads to Ganon. And give him
Half
the
a
old
heart
1-2.
and 2 fairies. Also, shoutouts to Obscure for not putting the heart beeps on.
I mean, I honestly, I don't like the heart beeps, but they do occasionally save me, so I leave them on.
Oh, for sure, me too. Yeah, pulls out that cane of Burner just in case. Gonna do some lag strats here. But you know what's slower than lag strats? Dying.
Dying strats, yeah.
Or even a fairy at this point.
I mean, it would be pretty impressive to see Obscure Lifeform take 0 damage for this entire fight.
Oh, he's past the point where you're likely to take damage, so he might actually manage to get through it that way.
While shadyforce doing the satisfying climb rooms. Oh, they were on Crocomire.
Oh, there you go. The silver. No, except we saw the silver. They weren't on Zeeves. They were sitting there on the Spec Rock. Just no one cared to pick them up.
Alright, setting up. This will be 4 hits for Obscure Lifeform, just 8 more and we're done here. Very nicely done with the torch glitch, making sure that gets activated. Because you just don't want to do too many torch lightings here.
No, I mean, you can still work pretty quickly with lighting the torches very quickly, double. You can get triples out of it, but it uses up your magic that you don't want to use up. It's just a pain.
And down he goes. Obscure Lifeform takes down Ganon. We'll be finishing this off just a little before shadyforce hits Agate 2 here. So, again, pretty stinking close race.
Yeah, Obscure going to finish up with an official race time of 1:20:59. GG's to Obscure Lifeform.
Alright, shadyforce on to Agate 2 here. And it looks like we might have some people waiting in the chats.
Yep, looks like they're both going to join us. Spoilers, Shady is going to finish this out. But we do have both Obscure Lifeform and shadyforce joining us now to talk about this race. GG's to you, Obscure. Also to you, Shady. Little few extra checks for you that just kind of cost, but...
Yeah, GG, Shady. Well played.
Yeah, GG. I didn't think I played very well this seed. I think I executed really badly and I made some bad routing decisions, so I don't think I deserved anything this seed, so I'm sure Obscure deserved it.
Yeah, Obscure, I gotta ask you, you skipped East Death Mountain, so you guys are both looking for flippers and mitts, of course, at the end. A lot of very similar routing, the biggest difference being Shady going and doing Aga without the lamp early. Obscure waiting until after doing the dungeons you could without hookshot. But the big play at the end, Obscure, you skipped that East Death Mountain and you just got to Desert faster. So what made you skip East Death Mountain there?
I mean, we've obviously hang out with Shady quite a bit and know how he plays, and I know Shady is a better player than me. So I was like, this seed is incredibly linear. It's pick up items, go to the next dungeon, pick up items. So in a head-to-head, I am not winning this race. So I need to do something like just to give myself a bit of an edge. So when I found those flippers, I was like, you know what? If East Death Mountain is the cause, is the Titans, I've lost this anyway because Shady's a better player. So I was like, I'm just going to go to Swamp, and I know Titans like to hang out in Swamp anyway. And then I've got the Pyramid Fairy, So I've got lots of checks. I mean, it was kind of like a 50-50 at that point. Do I just dive straight into Swamp? I know it's the safer play to go to East Death Mountain, but I just felt like I was behind anyway. Even though I don't feel like I done particularly bad. But then when it was looking for the gloves and when I found them, yeah, it just kind of messed with my brain completely, and then my execution just went down the toilet.
So I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's what happened in Ice Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say that wasn't an execution issue. That was just, yeah.
Yeah. Going through my brain, it was like, oh my god, I've found these gloves. I was like, I skipped East Death Mountain. I was like, the pay actually paid off. I was like, maybe Shady went. When is he going to pick up these? When is he going to pick up these gloves? Like, what's he doing? Where's he going? Like, Shady might still be ahead. And it's just like, it just went on to autopilot when I was playing, and I just didn't even think. Like, I killed the Pengator room, and yeah, I've done all kinds of crazy things. And then like when I had to mirror, I was like, okay, Obscure, just focus, just forget about everything, just throw it out your head, think about that in 10-15 minutes time when the seed is over.
Yeah,
And-
I actually think going to Swamp is a better play. I don't think East Step Mountain is I don't think you would call it the safer play. I think you would call it the worst play. I think it's better to go and beat Swamp because it's the crystal dungeon you have to do anyway.
Sure.
However, once I finish Swamp and it's not there, I'm just going straight to the mountain. I'm always doing East Step Mountain ahead of Desert. I'm never going to Desert right away. Maybe
Sure.
I could have done it before Spike Cave or before Permit Ferry. Maybe I could have done it before some of those other things. But I'm never really getting to it any earlier than that. So
Well, yes,
it
that
might
worked
have,
out well.
might have
for
not made a
Obscure.
difference.
I mean, you had opportunities because you were both still looking for the mitts at all the really bad spots at the same time. Obscure just bet on Desert first, because at that point you had all the mirror checks. Like you hadn't done many mirror checks at that point. Desert was open. I mean, we knew at least you didn't have to worry about Misery Mar, you didn't have to worry about Turtle Rock, you didn't have to worry about Smith Chain. So there's a lot of things that were off the table. But
Didn't even have to
Somebody,
check Floating Island. It was great.
yeah.
somebody skipped King's Tomb. I can't remember.
Oh,
which
that's
one.
right. No, it was
I did
Obscure.
King's Tomb.
Obscure
Yeah.
King's Tomb.
Did I? I was so
Yes.
sure I did it.
Yeah, you did Graveyard Ledge, and then you just saved and quit.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I went round the long way from Pyramid. Did
Yes,
I
you
really
did.
skip it? Oh my days! We'll have to check that back in the restream. Again, that's my brain playing up. Like, where are these Titans? Like, should I've gone to East Death Mountain? I should go up there now, otherwise I'm falling behind. And I just kind of went on auto. I didn't realize I skipped that. Oh my days! I was so sure I went there.
Yeah, well, it's like I say, people seem to think that the items are always in the places they skip, but they never realize the times when they skip a location and it just has nothing. So, this is one of those situations.
Wow, well, that's awkward.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it works out,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
sometimes it's not that big a deal. And
I
it's
do
not.
that a lot.
I mean, I definitely would have wanted. I know you probably wanted to check it while you were there. It just kind of slipped your mind, and that happens to everybody,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, so Obscure Lifeform takes this first one, and the two of you will be racing again. Bright and early my time, but probably a little bit closer to reasonable hour for the.
I feel like that's still pretty early for them. I know you're both
It's
out
bright and
in the
early our
UK,
time
but
too. It's 10 a.m. for us.
it's still pretty early. But yeah, 4 a.m. for me out here in the Central Time Zone. So
Yeah, sorry, US. This is a EU race, I guess.
Or a very late
Yeah.
US race. For
Well,
the
there
real
you
go.
degens. The West Coast degens will catch this, no problem.
I do believe there is a 2 a.m. race scheduled right before that, so you might get some late owls staying up for those races. So
Absolutely, that's a great time when you have really late night commentators. Anyway, so yeah, I enjoyed this race. It was pretty close, pretty much the whole way. You both killed Moldorm at the same time. Like, there was just some real similar real synced up stuff
Yeah.
right until that last dash for the Titans mids.
Yeah, I guess
So-
the only thing I would ask it, just out of curiosity. So you both approach the Aga situation differently. Shady, once you had the fire rod, you're just like, yeah, I know I have to kill Aga. I'm just gonna do it with the fire rod. It's not too bad to do the dark rooms as long as I can light the torches. Obscure, you waited until you had the lamp and even did both Pod and Eastern. So what was some of the thought process behind those decisions?
Like I like when I did the Aga play. Like you only lose a few seconds not having the lamp, and you might gain extra time at some point because of getting an early hook shot. But what I should have done instead was I should have done Skull Woods and Thieves Town, and then gone up to check Bumper Cave, and then mirrored, gotten the hook shot from the lumberjack, and then went straight to Death Mountain. That would have saved loads of time over what I actually did, which
Sure.
just rooted really terribly. Which is one of the things that annoys me the most in the seed, even though it doesn't look like it made a difference to the overall results. That's the main thing that I really dislike that I did this seed.
Yeah, it's so easy to rot after the fact, though. So you shouldn't beat yourself up too much about that one. Obscure, you waited a while. Did you just want that lamp, or just you figured you didn't have the stuff for Swamp Palace anyway?
Yeah, I mean, there was no urgency to get that hook shot. Like, if I needed the hook shot, if Swamp was open, I would have done it dark. But like getting the bow from Skull Woods, I was like, okay, I've got Thieves Town, I've got Pod, and I've got Eastern I can clear. There's no reason for me to get it here. And if I get the lamp, that makes everything easier. And I did, so it worked out.
Yeah, I mean that lamp could have been a dumb spot. So like it literally could have even been like left side swamp. But so yeah, waiting for it maybe isn't always the best call. But in this situation, it was on path to areas you had to go anyway. So I think it worked out pretty well for both of you.
Yeah. Speaking of left side swamp, that's basically the only item we never saw in the look for in the dash for the mids there. Like every other thing got checked.
That was my last spot, absolute last spot. Apart after the one I got on Lambo, I only had left side swamp left.
Funny enough, I probably would have gone left side swamp before East Death Mountain.
You were betting hard at not being East Death Mountain. And
when you make that gamble, you just got to follow through, because if it was, you've lost anyway. So
seems like a legit piece of advice. If you make a play, stick to the play. All right.
Anything else either one of you want to add before we go ahead and close this out?
And no, I'm good. Just good luck in the next one, Obscure, and thanks for commentating today, guys. Looking forward to watching it back.
Yeah, and just same as what Shady said, just thanks, and thanks for watching.
All right, good luck to both of you in the next one. And yeah, so that's gonna pretty much be it for us. We do have more races coming up. We have at 8:10 p.m. over on, also, actually all these are on SpeedGaming. We have the quarterfinals, Dante versus Boyne. That is game 3, tied up 1-1. And then at 2:10 a.m. we have Gamachu versus Top Life. That is their first game, also on SpeedGaming. So looking forward to those. Sadly, that's the only Saturday game technically. It's at 2 a.m. Saturday matchup, but a couple of good ones. Dante and Blaine watched the first couple of matches. I believe there was an ice rod on Ped yesterday, so I definitely want to see game 3. Yeah, and Gamachu and Top Life just starting their finals. I believe Gamachu is the only player left that's undefeated in the tournament, so we'll see if he can keep that up, or if Top Life will have other ideas.
All right. So yeah, it has been a pleasure commentating this race for you all today. I want to thank both of our runners for putting on an excellent show, ObscureLifeForm and ShadyForce. If you like what you saw here, they have channels that they stream to, and you should probably follow. And I would also like to thank our tracker, Bandman25, my co-commentator, Tracy M. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, first time on comms with you. It was a blast. I'll have to do it again. And
yeah. So with that, I think we're going to go ahead and have to wrap things up here. So I will just say that I have been Dr. Bobtastic, and I will see you all at a later occasion. Good night, everybody.